Hello, peacemakers and partygoers. My name is TBSkyne, and 2020 is over. And I didn't really know if I wanted to make a I made the my games of the year list video. That was kind of my end of the year video, I suppose. And I was thinking about, okay, do I want to really quickly put something else together, or do I want to stream? And maybe I'll still stream. Maybe I'll do that if I feel like it as midnight comes closer. But as I was thinking about, like, do I even want to do anything to commemorate the new year? Really, I've already done the games of the year list video. I realized that I just kind of wanted to talk. I don't do a ton of vlog style content on my channel because it's not really, I guess, my style, as you can hear from me stumbling over my words. But I did, at the end of this terrible, awful garbage fire of a hell year, I guess I just wanted to like perform some sincerity for the YouTube algorithm, I guess. Not that this video is gonna be popular. I'm not even gonna monetize it, so fuck it, who cares? It's been a weird year for literally every person on the planet, I think. And it's been a weird year for me in a lot of ways, because despite the world going to hell in a handbasket, I've done okay. Like not in this, I've been fucking quarantined and terrified to catch the death virus that's gonna kill me, but the channel has been growing, and it's been making more money, and I guess I wanted to talk about that. Because it's... I mean, I've talked about it before, but might as well reiterate. So, I was never really supposed to be a YouTuber. This wasn't supposed to happen. I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I started making YouTube videos. Well, I made YouTube videos just because I wanted to learn to edit videos and do stuff. Like, for fun, basically. But mostly, I made YouTube videos because... well, for people who followed me on Twitter, really. Because there would be, there'd be discussions on Twitter about characters in video games and designs and things that are happening in games and stuff, and League of Legends champions and so on. And I'd have opinions about that, because of course I do, and I'd want to talk about them, but Twitter is awful for it, because all you get is threading, and threading is bad, and it doesn't stick around, and if you've expressed your thoughts about something, you can't really, like, how the fuck do you link someone back to a thread? How do you even search for it? Okay. Well, let's just turn on OBS and put a picture on screen and just blabber on about it for a while and say some opinions out loud. And that was sort of a lot of my YouTube output was that. Just you know, talking about things that I really just wanted to talk to Twitter about, so I could post those videos on Twitter, and if people came at me with like arguments and stuff, I could just, no, I've made a video about it, go watch that. And that was kind of how I was doing YouTube. And occasionally I would make like something more video essay formatted, just because I wanted to, for fun, try to animate a little avatar and stuff like that. But it was never really meant to be my job, because I was a freelance artist. Like, that's what I've been doing for years and years and years. And I had finished my university education, and I wanted to pursue making comics, making art, and hopefully making some money doing that on Patreon. And I was making a little bit, like, not enough to pay for pretty much anything, but I was making a bit, and it had sort of, along with some savings I had and some help from my family, that had kind of kept my head above water. But I had finished my university education, and I was like, okay, I guess I need to find some ways to make more money eventually, because otherwise this shit is not gonna last. And I was like, okay, fuck, do I find a job? Like, what? I was at a crossroads. Like, I was between everything. I had no idea what I was going to do with my time. And every month was a scramble just to make rent. Like, every month it was, okay, go, thank God, I have enough commissions. Like, okay, rent is paid this time. Whew, I can breathe for 5 minutes, and now I need to go chase more commissions so I can pay rent next month. And then in 2018, I think it was, sometime around this, like February or something, where I made a couple of videos. I think maybe it was the one about boob plate, like the first one, and maybe it was the one about same face syndrome, which I made back then. I'm not happy with either of those videos anymore, but as a couple of videos took off randomly, like they do. Like, you can't predict jack fucking shit. I didn't have any SEO. Like, I wasn't doing any of the smart YouTube tactic. I just, I want to talk about this stuff. Put it on the onlines. I'm about to get killed by that dragon, by the way. And I'm not playing this, I should mention. I'm not playing. What you're watching right now is not me playing it. This is a recording of... I'll talk about that in a second. But they took off, and all of a sudden, subscribers just started pouring in. Like, it went completely... Like, I got something like 21,000 subscribers in a couple of months. Like, I went from having, like, I think maybe 3,000, or I can't even remember the numbers, but I went from having, like, about a couple of thousand-ish to having something like 29,000 subscribers, like, that base. Like, from my perspective, it was basically functionally overnight. It just kept going, and I made like I should do a 10,000 thank you subscriber. Oh no, wait, no, I'm actually at 50. Oh no, okay, I'm at 21,000 subscribers. Okay, like, I was trying just to keep up, and it didn't. And that came out of fucking nowhere, and I didn't plan for it, and I'm not even sure I wanted it. Being 100% honest. And because of that, because those videos took off, and because I gained a bunch of subscribers and people started watching more of my videos more regularly, I started making a little money on the ad revenue. Not a lot, like, God help me, no. But enough that it started like, okay, this is like, I can chase fewer commissions. Like, I can relax a little bit on all the other hustle I've been doing all the time, because, okay, this thing is kind of picking up the slack, and it couldn't possibly have happened at a better time, because, like, my financial situation was not awful, but it was deteriorating. Like, I wasn't making more money month on month. I was just barely holding steady, and I knew that if I stopped working for 2 minutes, you know, there was no such thing as a day off, you know? And it was stressful as hell. Like, oof. And so the YouTube thing happened, and I was like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. Like, okay, there's, like, a part of my motivation was definitely money. Like, it was just, there's some money here? Okay, thank God, because I need to pay my goddamn rent. So I just kind of went for it and started making more videos, like a lot more videos. Like, I made way too many videos. A lot of them weren't that good, and I feel like I kind of burned myself. I'm about to die again here, I think, because I take a wrong turn. I'm trying to get to the Mask of the Sealer, but I forget that I have to drop down one more level, and now I'm about to get buck stomped. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, it happened, like, at the perfect time, because it was sort of a little straw I could grab onto and hold on, and then it didn't stop, which surprised me a lot. It didn't stop. Like, I kept making videos, and it wasn't like I was expecting that it was all going to taper off, and I'd be stuck at maybe 30,000 subscribers, and this would be like a nice little side income for me that I could maybe rely on while I kept chasing commissions and stuff, but, like, maybe take the load off, and maybe in 10 years it will grow to 50,000 or something. Like, I had this expectation of, okay, this was a bolt out of the blue, it's never gonna happen again, and from now on it's just gonna be like a snail's pace slow crawl, but maybe it's something I can build on, like that kind of thing. And it kept going okay. Nothing like that burst ever happened again, and has ever happened again. Never. Like, I've had some good months and bad months, but it kept being, like, it just kept growing nicely. And 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 people kept commenting, and they kept By the way, please don't go into the comments and be like, "Hey, you deserve your success." And like, I'm not fishing for compliments right now. I mean, it's very kind of you, but that's not what I'm here for. I know that I put in a lot of hard work. Like, I know that I earned this, because, God damn it, I have the the anxiety dreams to prove it. I know. I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm just getting a little emotional. I'm gonna die again because I messed this up one more time. I fall off where I shouldn't. But it kept going, and people kept showing up, and they... Whee! And people commented, and a little community started to begin to exist around my content, which is something that's happened before. Like, I've had a few things that I've made some webcomics in the past that had little communities, and like it's something I'm used to, but it's just the volume of it and the general kindness of people. Like, YouTube algorithms, YouTube comments are generally not necessarily the nicest place, but with some moderation and by doing some active community management and stuff, it became a really nice thing. Like, with people like being critical of me too, like but criticizing me on the merits of the arguments that I make, like taking my arguments seriously and my videos seriously and arguing seriously with them, which has been really gratifying. Because like I don't want people to fawn over me. I don't want people to flood me with comments or whatever. Like, I don't want a bunch of yes men surrounding me. I don't want to be told I'm right or that I'm good, or like, I don't need that. I can tell myself those things. But it's been... I have been very pleased to see my work being taken seriously. To people, like, watching my videos, listening to my arguments, and trying to, okay, like, here's my counter-argument, I have a different opinion, and here's why. That's been kind of wonderful. And I don't know how to process these feelings except to talk about it, which is why this video exists. And it's gonna be a ramble. It's been really... Like, I'm not going to be dramatic and say that it saved my life or anything, but it certainly helped my brain a lot, because I haven't... As the channel has grown, and certainly as the Patreon has grown, just the mental peace of not having to hustle every single month. Like, that sometimes it can be a slow month where not a lot happens, and it can be okay. And I don't have to be terrified of not being able to pay bills, and I don't have to be scared that I can't have food or like, maybe buy a video game sometimes. Like, it's done absolute wonders for my mental health, like in a way that I don't think I can even begin to describe. Like, just not having to be afraid all the fucking time. It's made me a lot more stable, mentally, and just as a person overall, and it's helped me be able to help friends of mine, who have been in trouble as well, like who haven't had as much, because like, one of the things that I'm really most grateful for is, like, because my Patreon is doing well, and because the ad revenue is doing okay on this channel, I've been able to, like, I have friends whose Patreons I've signed up for at, like, the highest levels, and just like, no, you don't have to give me anything, I just, where I can just help them the same way that I needed help when I was struggling. And like, if I have been friends where they've needed rent money and I've been able to cover them, and that it's I don't know how to express how much that means. That I can do that for someone, that I'm not always the person who needs the help. That fucking means a lot. And that's because you guys watch the videos. Like, that's essentially, that's, like, in a materialistic analysis of the exchange of value happening in these means of production or whatever, it's because you guys are here watching the videos, donating occasionally on stream. Like, it's because you care enough to that, or at least not so much that you care, but that you enjoy the quality of my work enough that you're willing to pay for it with your time, just with your attention. The reason why I don't like to do these videos is because it feels like I'm in my head I keep getting anxious that I'm manipulating people into supporting me on Patreon by crying into a microphone like, oh, I'm so happy, thank you so like, and I don't, fuck that, no. I make good content and you guys enjoy it, and you reward that with your attention and with occasionally with your hard-earned money. And if anyone knows how fucking important that shit can be, it's me. And there's a part of my brain that still doesn't quite believe it. Like, that still kind of expects, okay, yeah, sure, it's been a good run, but next month, that's when it's all gonna slow down. Like, that's, yeah, you've had subscriber growth and you've been making good, but next month it's gonna slow down and it's gonna, like, decay to a certain level, and that's where you're gonna stay. And not that it's all gonna fall apart or anything, but like, I'm gonna reach my level. Like, I'm gonna plateau, and this is where I'm at, and it's not gonna keep growing anymore. Like, in my head, I'm kind of waiting for that to happen all the time, because a part of me doesn't. I mean, there's always my insecurities, you know. Like every creative person on the face of the earth, I deal with anxiety. I've had my insecurities, my imposter syndrome, like, and part of that is definitely there, sort of poking at me and saying, you really sure you deserve all this? And then there's the other part of me that knows that I have imposter syndrome and anxiety that goes, no, like saying that I don't deserve, like when someone gives me a donation and then me going, oh, I don't deserve this, that's arrogant. Like, that's bullshit, because that's not up to me. Like, that's not my fucking decision. That's the person who makes the donation gets to make that call, whether they think it's worth it. And I don't get to be snooty about that and be like, oh, but I know better than you. Like that. So I try not to do that anymore. Like, I used to do it a lot. I used to obsess over, oh, people don't know. They don't know any better. Like, they're supporting me because they don't know what a terrible person I am. And I've gotten healthier about that. But there is definitely still that part of me that's like, yeah, but this is a little bit too good to be true, isn't it? Like, it's a little good. Yeah, sure. Like, not that you don't deserve it, but like, seriously, that? Are you sure that's like that weird skepticism is always with me. Kinda. And it's been amazing to have that proven wrong over and over and over and over again for 2 years. That's been kind of wonderful. And it's really, like, I work really hard on it, but it is very hard to feel worthy of it. Like, it is difficult to feel like it is really earned, especially like when I have, like I mentioned, like I have friends who are incredibly talented artists and who are substantially better like video makers than I am, and like there's YouTubers I follow that have like half my subscriber count at twice the quality, and it is hard to feel worthy of it under those circumstances. Like it is hard to feel like I should have all of this. But the remedy to that is to try and okay, well then try and share the success. And so I try to share content that I like a lot, especially on Twitter, and to push people towards like, hey, if you like my stuff, you know, maybe this guy over here, and yeah. I don't know, I'm rambling. I'm not going any... I don't have any notes or anything. I'm not going in any particular direction. By the way, I'm going to buy the Residence Key here for no reason. A lot of what I do in my Dark Souls runs, it's not because it's effective or efficient or because it's necessarily a good idea. I just do it because I kind of want... I kind of like picking up things and doing stuff. So if you're watching this and thinking, like, why is he... If he's trying to be fast, why is he doing... No, I'm just doing it because I enjoy it. And... yeah. I guess what I'm trying to get at, like, the thing I'm talking around all the time is thank you. For all of this, because none of it happens if you don't show up to watch the videos, and I am really, really grateful that you, if with the million billion things that are clamoring for your attention, and the many, many ways that you could spend your time, that you've chosen to spend any of it, you know, on my bullshit. Because that is a gift. Like, that's a precious thing that you're giving me there, and I am really grateful for it. It's exceedingly kind of you, and I hope that my videos will keep being good entertainment, like that they'll keep being food for thought, or a place that you like. My Discord can be a place that you like to hang out, or that I provide some value in return for all of this. Like, I really hope I do that. I really hope so. And just to alleviate my own anxieties here, please don't ever feel like you have to support me on Patreon. Don't ever feel like you have to donate or super chat, like, or whatever, or tip. Never. Don't ever feel that. Because, no, you don't. If you show up and you watch the videos, that's enough. If you decide to share the videos, then that's going above and beyond. And you don't have to do anything more than that. Like, you are helping. If you are doing those things, you are helping. So don't worry about that, ever. Like, one of the things that kind of distresses me the most about this job is that occasionally when people cancel their Patreon pledge and stuff, they'll send a message apologizing? Which... No, don't do that. Please, for the love of God, don't do that, because at that point I feel like, okay, I have made this person feel like that it's more important than it is that they give me money. It is not important. Like, it's very helpful and I'm grateful, but it's not important. You pay your rent, pay your bills, like, pay your debts, you take care of yourselves, because I don't ever want to feel like I have to manipulate people into supporting me on Patreon, because that would fucking kill me. Like, yeah, like, no. So please don't with that. I say this too often, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure it's kind of annoying eventually to have to listen to, because I do always stress it, but that's important to me, is that people know that there is no pressure. Like, there has to be no pressure. And I don't ever want to see any member of my community be like, well, if you really like his video, support him. Like, no. None of that. Ever. Because I see that happen sometimes, like, with YouTubers, like, and it's something that worries me as the thing grows. Like, I might break 100,000 in 2021 if things keep going the way they have. And I see other YouTubers where the fan community around them, like, no matter how hard they try to, like, manage it, it can get really bad. So I want to like set that expectation early. That there's no gatekeeping here about being a fan of my content, like, which is still a strange sentence for me to say out loud. Right. I guess I wanted to talk about that. I guess I wanted that off my chest. But as for the Dark Souls footage that you've been watching for the past, 30 minutes, if you've been watching this far, why this? Well, because I wanted some footage that could run in the background while I sit here, stumbling over my own ass, trying to say stuff. But also because of... like, I enjoy all the content that I make a lot, and I've enjoyed streaming, and What's the Deal videos, and all of it. Animation breakdowns. I enjoy all of them, but I think I've become most attached to the boss designs of Dark Souls. Partly because by their nature, they're the videos I have to put the most effort into, like both in terms of all the time it takes to record it on stream and in terms of all the editing that I do and the bits of research that I have to do for my analyses. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I'm really proud of it. Like, I've become really proud of it. I've become really proud of all the work I've put into boss designs of, maybe not so much of boss designs of Dark Souls 2, which, in my opinion, only really started to find its voice, like, halfway through. And even then, it took a while. But Dark Souls 2, certainly, I look back at it, and I'm actually really proud of it. And boss designs of Bloodborne is going a lot. I was afraid that it would not go as well, because it's not a Souls game, but it has, like, a different thing in mind, a different thing to say, and I missed the Crystal Lizard there. But it's been going... It's been working out well, all things considered, and I'm really proud of it. And so I wanted to use some Dark Souls 1 footage, because when I look back at the boss designs of Dark Souls 1 and the early episodes, I cringe my ass out of my pants. Because it's like, no, what is this delivery? No, learn to speak, you young fool. Learn to edit, you idiot. What are you doing? You're wasting your audience's time. Like, I have those feelings a lot about old work, that isn't quite as good as I could make it nowadays. And in my head, I keep having this flirtation, like, I mean, I could just take all the old footage and I could re-edit it, right? Like, I could at least make the editing better, right? Couldn't I? I have time to do that, surely, between, like, being so fucking far behind on What's the Deal videos and trying to catch up. I've got time to do another video series. So I guess I wanted to show off that I've gotten a little bit better at Dark Souls since making that series, that I know the game a little bit better now. And I guess to say that, hey, for all the Souls players out there who kind of wish that they could go back and experience Dark Souls 1 again for the first time, I feel ya. Like, it's not that long ago that I played Dark Souls 1 for the first time, and every time I replay it, there is that, like, oh man, like, I wish I could go back and experience, like, the fear. Like, being afraid of the Taurus Demon. Can you imagine being afraid of the Taurus Demon? He's so easy. You just pick up the gold pine resin and kick his ass. But to have fear about that again, and the Asylum Demon, and, like, experience the world of Lordran again for the first time. I feel that now. I know your pain. I understand how you do it. Yeah. Was that all? Was that all? No, I don't think it's all I wanted to say, but it's... let me circle back around and try and wrap this all in a bow. I'm really grateful for this thing. For this weird thing that I get to do for a job. I am really grateful for all the people who have decided to help me do this. Whether it's just by subscribing, or by, like, doing direct contributions of any kind, or, like, whatever. If you just shared the video one time, like, thank you. Because I don't think this happens unless 1,000 strangers, like, or tens of thousands of strangers at this point, unless you all decided to be kind to me, this wouldn't have happened. And I guess that's the thing that boggles my mind, is, like, 50,000 strangers, probably more. Like, who knows? I don't know how many accounts on YouTube are bots and stuff, but that many strangers deciding to be kind to me, like, to give me a chance, like, to go, okay, well, what's this? He makes videos, I guess we'll subscribe to that and see what happens, which is a kindness. Like, it's very kind of you to choose to spend your time with me like that, watching the work that I do. And I am really grateful for that. Like, it's really hard to express that gratitude in a way that doesn't feel like I'm doing, like, YouTuber cry face. I'm being like, oh, I'm so grateful for you guys for supporting me on my journey. We're all on this journey together. Join the fam. Like, I don't want to do that, because that feels so disingenuous and so, please give me money, hint hint, wink wink, to me. which is something I actively try not to engage in. But I will say I understand why the YouTubers do that. Like, I understand why YouTube Cryface exists, because I am holding back some emotions right now. Like, I am kind of stealing myself between words not to start having my voice break too much. Because it is fucking amazing. It is unbelievable that I get to do this. That I get to have the privilege of having a YouTube channel in the year of our Lord 2020 and into 2021 and do this for a living while the rest of the world is falling apart at the seams. There's something weird and fucked up to me about that I get to do this. And that this has helped me find stability and be less afraid all the time and feel like I have a purpose. Like, not in a grand cosmic sense of, oh, it's my calling in life, man, to make YouTube videos about League of Legends characters. Yeah, like, not in that sense, but that I wake up in the morning and I have a job to do. And I know what that job is, and I can't believe I'm about to survive that with an arrow sticking out of my head, but I am. And that I can know with some small measure of confidence, however insignificant, that I'll be okay, you know, that there isn't going to be a moment of judgment, like a moment of defeat, where I have to say, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go be a cashier at a supermarket, or go back to the cleaning job that I used to have, or, like, give up on all of my creative dreams because the world does not allow for a person to do the thing that you want to do, you fool, you idiot. Like, Go suffer under capitalism like the rest of them. Not that I don't suffer under capitalism, but I certainly am in a privileged position to not suffer the worst of it. Okay, enough rambling. I wanted to say thank you. That's the thing I wanted to say. It is the thing that I have said, and I could probably go on babbling for another 2.5 hours if I wanted to, but I wanted to say thank you. And I wanted to try and explain what thank you means to me, because it means a lot. I hope you have a good New Year's. I hope that you keep social distance and that you are all safe. And that 2021 treats you kinder than 2020 has. And I hope that all of you get to feel more safe. I hope all of you get to feel like you have a certainty that you'll be okay. I hope you all feel like you're gonna be okay in 2021. I hope. God, I hope. And thank you all for helping me feel that way. Yes. Enough. I'm gonna stop talking now.